Hello, I'm Pamela Davis. Welcome to episode 227 of the Well Done Life podcast. And hello, welcome back to episode 227 of the Well Done Life podcast. I'm your host, Pamela Davis. If you are new here, hey, how are you? Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here with us this week. I hope that you will stay for a very long time. If you've been here before, you guys know the deal. Love you deep. Thank you so much for continuing to rock with me. I have missed you so very much, and I am truly grateful for you sticking with me. Definitely continue to bring friends. Definitely, I pray that you continue to support me, and I really just, like I said, couldn't do it without you. So let's get this party started. Before we actually do that, though, I like to be really foundational. It's really important to me that we kind of set the tone for what we do here. And for me, this podcast is a safe space that I've created. And so I like to make sure that this safe space is built on two very important things, and that is clarity and love. Clarity is really straightforward. I just want to make sure that you understand that I created the Well Done Life brand because I believe in the power of women. I believe in us sharing our stories, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, so that we can learn from each other. I truly believe that women are the foundation of society. And with that, that means that we have to lean into each other's knowledge. We can't gatekeep. And so here in this space, I have started off by sharing my journey, the good, the bad, the highs and lows of it all. I also do spotlight other women as well on their journeys because I want you to realize that you can do it. That's really what it is. I want you to realize that you can do it. There was a season in my life where I felt like I couldn't do it, where I was looking for resources and I was looking for support because I was just going through so many different things all at once. And my friend group was great, but not everybody could relate to what I was feeling at that point. And so I didn't see that there was a space where women could just honestly, vulnerably admit, that I'm struggling or I need assistance, all the things. And so I wanted to create that space because it wasn't something that I saw that was out there, but I saw that it was needed. So that's what we do here in this space. So I hope that you will feel loved and supported and encouraged. I don't want you to make the mistakes that I made. I hope that you can see the value in maybe making pivots, but also maybe be inspired to do something that you never thought of before. That's what this space is all about. And so I welcome you and I thank you for being here. And that leads me right into my second foundation, which is love. Love is actually probably my favorite thing. I'm a sucker for love. I believe in love. And so everything that we do in this space is always going to be rooted as such. It is always going to be rooted in love. And so for me, showing love to you every week is by sending you prayers because I truly believe in the power of two or more people coming together in prayer. And I know I'm not the only one out here praying for some of the same stuff. So I always like to start the podcast off with some prayer. So first and foremost, my prayer for you this week is always going to be peace. I have to stand on peace because Lord knows it's crazy out here. There's always just so much stuff swirling and we're all still out here trying to navigate life. And so I want you to be able to have moments of peace. I really do believe in the power of stillness. I really do believe that sometimes you just, like I said, have to get still. You have to sit in one space or stand in one space, lay down in one space. You just have to stop moving so that you can give yourself time to process and heal because there's so much, like I said, coming at you constantly. And it doesn't always necessarily mean that, you're struggling. It just could be just the demands of life. You have to think about it. We live in a society of constant movement. And so you have to be able to create moments of stillness so that you can replenish your mind, so that you can replenish your body, so that you can get in tune with who you are, so that you can operate on your best levels. And so I'm praying for you to have moments of peace this week, whatever that looks like, even if it's just sitting in your car for a moment, drinking a cup of water. Whatever it is that brings you joy and peace in that moment, savor it because life is very fast and you deserve to savor every moment of it all and for yourself and for your energy. And then along that line of peace, I always am praying for clarity. I feel like those are going to have to be like my top two prayers for the indefinite future because I just think it is so important to have clarity because again, things are moving very quickly. Information is coming to you in so many different ways and you really do need to be able to tap into what is really happening and what you are seeing and how that aligns with your values. And I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, I really feel like we are living in a season of where you really have to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. And so your values, your faith, all of those things come into play in seasons of uncertainty like this. And so it is very important that you understand, that you know who you belong to and who you are. And, obviously I'm very honest about my faith. I'm praying for you. So obviously, I love God. I believe in God and I serve God, and He is the center of my life, and He gives me peace and He gives me clarity. And sometimes that clarity is things that I'm not ready to receive or things that I don't want to receive. I'll be honest. God definitely gives us downloads and signs and wonders sometimes and things that we're just not ready to receive. But He's always going to be an ever-present force to help us get through it. And I just lean on that. I hope that you will find something to lean into, that you will find a source of your faith and your strength. Of course, I always want you to know God, but I want you to know what that higher power means to you, what God means to you, and find your path toward it. It's not my place to judge because there are many paths to God, I feel. But ultimately, the open path is being able to confess and to recognize His power and place in your life and to lean into that. And whatever it is for you, I pray that you will find your way to lean into that, because it is so important to be rooted, if truly rooted in moments and times like this. So again, that's why I pray for you to have peace. I pray for you to have clarity, because ultimately peace and clarity lead you to be able to move forward in a way that honors you. And that's my third prayer for you this week. I want you to be able to honor who you are as a person. You are such a magnificent person. If no one has told you that recently, I want to be the one to tell you, you are truly such a beautiful light. And you sometimes are so hard on yourself, and you don't need to be. And you don't recognize that there are people watching you, who are studying you, who are learning from you, who are inspired by you. Lean into that. Lean into the understanding of who you are. And to me, when you have peace and you have clarity and you lean into God, you get a sense of who you are. And even though sometimes you may struggle, even though sometimes the thoughts and the loud noises and the world make you feel like you are less than that, you still have a root, you still have a place, you still have a foundation, you still have a source to go back to who can remind you of who you are. You need to know who you are. And you need to lean into the wonderful gift that you are, because there will never be another you. So value you, take care of you, nurture you, explore you, lean into you, because there will never be another. And so always know that because of that, you are unique, you are divine, you are truly God's gift to the world. Love yourself as God loves you, and go forth and live in your purpose and your dream. Recognize who you are, because you need that. You will always need to be your greatest cheerleader and your greatest source of strength. Stop being so hard on yourself. You're doing your very best, and that is enough. And then rounding out my prayers, I'm going to lean into abundance this time. I always make sure that I always give a prayer of abundance, because I feel like abundance is one of those things that's like, if you know me, I'm always going to want you to be abundant. I want you to be successful. And of course, I'm thinking about abundance, not just on a financial level. I always like to preface that because, again, everything is so money, 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 money. But remember, abundance is a mindset. It is a shift into understanding that you deserve the best, that you deserve good things, and that it is okay for you to go out here and pursue things that lead you into that, standing into your worth and your value, and also being able to create moments with family and friends and for yourself that will make you rich in your spirit, because being rich in your spirit is truly going to make you more wealthy than being wealthy financially. Of course, we always want to count dollars and cents. And yes, you do need to be able to have something that spends, but be wealthy in your soul, be wealthy in your spirit, be wealthy in your mind, because all of those things work together for making you the best version of you, who you were called to be. Step into your greatness, believe that you deserve the best, and go forth and live in that abundance so that you can be a blessing to other people, but to yourself as well. So those are my prayers for you this week. I'm recording on Friday, July 18th, and it is 10 o'clock p.m. And it feels really good to be here. It has been a while. Yes, I feel so grateful to be back, but it took me a minute because life had been lifing. I want to thank you guys for all the grace and the continued support. I saw y'all listening to other episodes, and I truly appreciate it. I know I kind of went a little MIA, but then not, because I told you guys I was traveling and doing a lot. Life has been doing a lot. And so as I've been traveling and like doing things in life, I've kind of had a moment where I've been kind of taking a pause to think about, where I am. And when I say where I am, is just where I am as a person, who I'm becoming, because yes, I'm in a state of becoming. And I wanted to kind of use this episode as a moment to kind of reset, reintroduce, set the tone, because this isn't an update that I'm going to give. This is more about a reflection. And I'll be honest, it's a shift. I feel a shift in how I'm doing things coming. So I was doing some research in regards to like how I wanted to approach this episode. So different than I think, however, approach some of my others. And so this quote stood out to me, and I definitely want to share it with you. So the quote is, "There are years that ask questions and years that answer." And that is by Zora Neale Hurston. And I will make sure that I put it in the show notes. But I wanted to kind of use it as a tone, set the tone, because I'm not going to pretend. I have been in a season of years where I had lots of questions, but this is the year that I have discovered that I'm going to be giving the answers to a lot of the questions that I have. And so with those answers have come a shift in my life. So I kind of want to set the stage, because especially as I'm looking at it, it's like July 18th. And I have to admit, I've been truly spending some time thinking about the reset. I haven't even talked to you guys about that. And for those of you that are new or just don't know, the reset is an event that I hosted last year in August here in Orlando at the Wave Lake Nona Hotel. And it was a one-day event where it was focused on women empowerment in several pillars. And those pillars were mental health, physical health, financial health, and building community. Because when I fell on my face, when I was low, when I was down, I fell apart in all those areas. And over these past several years, building myself back, because yes, it took me several years to build myself back on all those things, I discovered that there needs to be more conversation and connection in regards to how the interconnectivity of our mental health, our physical health, our financial health, and building community really can be either the precipice to our next level, or they can be the pit that we fall into and never come back out of. And I know that might sound a little dramatic, but I just have to be real, because it is really true that like mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, spiritually, and all of it, not being able to build community, if you don't have a team, it can all fall apart, and you need a source. So I wanted to create a source. So yes, last year we created this beautiful event. Yasmin Cheyenne, the author of The Sugar Jar, and Wisdom of the Path was our opening speaker. And we had a dynamic group of women for all of those different categories. It was a fly event. I was very proud. It was my inaugural event, and it was very successful. And thinking about it, it really was, something after the event, like I was on fire. I was ready. And so I shared with you guys, I spent some time in Tampa doing a retreat with my brand manager, brand expert, Tita Walker. Like we really laid out a good path and plan for what we were going to do this year. That was the plan. Like I was ready to come back another year and just do it. And actually I was going to do it even differently, because I had already started to feel the stirs in my spirit that we were going to need to change some things up and really try to be more community focused and just really do it, because I was really excited. I knew what the vision looked like, what it meant to me, because last year doing this was the highlight of my year. It's a highlight of my life. I have never done something on such a level in my life. And I just felt so proud of what I've done. I'm still proud of my baby. Don't get me wrong. She was beautiful. And if you've never seen it, I'm going to make sure I always link it though in the show notes, and a link to the event so that you can see this, because I'm not going to lie, I'm proud of it. I did that. Tita and I, we did that. Like we really did that. And just to see how women were impacted and supported and cared for in that space really inspired me to keep going. That's where I I get my juju, my energy from. It comes from seeing other people win. So it's just very important for me to do it. But I'm not going to pretend. We do all of that last year. Like literally, I think we went into planning season. I want to say at the latter part of last year, like right before Thanksgiving, had the plan put in place. We get into January, and I'll be honest, less than 60 days into this year, I knew that I wasn't going to do it this year. I did. I haven't said anything, but I'm just going to be real because, that's what we do here in the space. In less than 60 days in 2025, after being in a season of planning in November 2024, I knew that I wasn't going to do it. I knew I wasn't going to do it because I didn't have the emotional bandwidth to do it. And when I say the emotional bandwidth, I know that sounds so dramatic, and I'm definitely going to explain it. I want to make sure I'm very clear. It's not about burnout, but it was something deeper inside of me. It was an invitation that I was feeling, telling me I needed to pause. I needed to redirect my energy this year because I was going to be pulled in directions that I wasn't prepared for. And so this was the year, and like I said, less than 60 days in, I wound up having a conversation with Teton, telling her, you know what, I don't have the emotional bandwidth this year to be able to do it. And it was funny because at first when I said that, the instance, and no shade, I didn't take it as any, her first response was, well, you did spend a lot of money last year, and I know that's a big investment. It wasn't about the money. I wasn't worried about the money because I knew that the money would come and it would be what it needed to be. But I'm not going to lie, I didn't have the emotional bandwidth. As I sat in silence, I started to recognize that this year, 2025, was asking a whole bunch of other stuff from me, and I wasn't going to be able to devote the energy that I needed to give for the reset. Because last year when I did the reset, I gave my all to that. Like I gave all the energy, all the resources I had, everything. I was like trying to shuffle my family, my love, my job, all of these things. And I was giving to the reset because that's what God had called me to do. I'm just going to keep it real. That's what he called me to do it. And I did it, and I knew it was the right thing. But this year, like I said, less than 60 days in, God spoke to me and was like, no, I need you to pause because I have something that I need you to be prepared for. And so this year became the year where I started turning into my health. You guys know I've been on a weight loss journey for quite some time, actually since September of 2024. But this year, obviously, has been the bulk of it. And so I have really been focusing on taking care of myself physically and emotionally and spiritually, and just like really turning to listen into my body and my spirit before I started worrying about what was on my calendar or my to-do list. And it has been definitely a beautiful journey. I owe y'all an update. I'm almost out of the 200s. I haven't even talked about that in a while. Like I'm like really, really close. These last couple of weeks, I got a little thrown off just because of life. But I've been navigating well and really like taking care of myself, and I feel good. I feel good and I look good. And that means everything to me because like I said, I was at a point in my life where it's like, I had never recognized what it was like as an adult to be under 200 pounds. And for me to be in this position where I'm at now, where I'm super close to it, I'm like 10 pounds away. And so I got a couple more months. I'm going to get there. But, I'm very transparent, I go to an obesity medicine doctor, and I've had her on the podcast, Dr. Jadine Hill. And I probably at one point will do another update with her. I think as I get a little bit further in, because definitely it's been a journey. As a part of my journey, I do obviously a high protein, low carbohydrate diet. I work out like 5 to 6 days a week. I also do take a GLP-1. And I've gone through different cycles and phases with that, the highs, the lows, the protein, like trying to learn how to eat as much protein as I have to eat on a daily basis so I can build muscle, get out of my emotional way, learning how not to crash out when things don't go, like all of these highs and lows. And so physically, that has just been a journey, and I've had to give a lot of energy to it. I had to give a lot of time. I had to invest in it. It's an investment financially. It's an investment emotionally, and it's paying off. So I had to give a lot more energy to that. And I've encompassed everybody in my life with it. Got my family up in here eating keto bread, got my man eating low carb, high protein with me. Like, I'm very serious about it because this is my life. And I'm not doing it just for the vanity of it all. I'm doing it for my health. Like, I'm in my perimenopausal life as well. So, that's a whole nother journey with it too. And so I haven't, like I said, had a real good conversation about that in a while. Talked about some of the things because, honey, I'm like a science project over here. But I say all that to say I had to devote a lot of time mentally to that. And with that, also, like I said, I'm in therapy. I'm very honest. You guys, I had my therapist actually at my event last year, Orinthia DeCaris. She's wonderful. I see her every few weeks now. And it has just truly been a blessing to help me with my limiting behavior because, even in weight loss, if I think about it, like I had limiting behaviors. I didn't ever believe I could be under 200 pounds. I didn't believe I could be sexy. I didn't believe, all those things. Like I was just trying to play small and now she's helping me learn how to play big. So again, like I said, it just kind of all correlates mentally and physically. So that's where a lot of my time has come and where it has gone in this year. And I just didn't have it to give. And then I'm not going to pretend it's not just about that, but this has also been a year of loss. And grief. I lost my godmother. I had an episode devoted to her and her memory. And I wasn't expecting it, but God had told me in the beginning of the year, could be a year where I could lose my mothers, the women who are like mothers to me. And so, yes, unfortunately, I wound up losing my godmother. And I also am facing the fact that my own mother's health it's not decline per se, but I see the slowness, I see the stillness, I see the changes in her physically and emotionally and, just recognizing that, life is moving very fast and these people who are foundational roots in my life may not be here. And I have seen loss. And so as a part of that, I had to deal with my grief. And what does grief look like for me now, especially after spending half a decade after my father died trying to get myself back emotionally? How would it be when I lost someone so close to me again? And learning how to balance my grief and my growth at the same time. And so this has truly been like, again, another part of the labor, a part of the journey of resetting myself so that I can learn how to navigate this new normal. Because I say this to my friends all the time. Nobody teaches you how to deal with death at our age. Like no one teaches us how to navigate these spaces where the parents that gave us life are the ones that we're losing. And so it's like you're just grasping at straws trying to figure it out. And I have to admit, I was unprepared for my godmother, and I'm good because I know that she is in a better place. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it's true. She's not in pain and she's well. And I would rather let her go so that she could be at peace and not feel pain than to have her here and see her suffer. And so just like I said, learning how to navigate that, learning how to talk to my mom and make sure I have the stories and the memories and all the things that I need to remind me of who she was. Not that I would ever forget, or not that you ever forget in loss, but just in the event when that time comes, because unfortunately it will come and I have to face it. That I've heard all the stories that I need to hear, that I've said all the things I need to say. And so this has been a year of just spending more time with her and learning and understanding and growing. And on top of, like I said, the health and the loss and the grief, it has been a season of love. Yes. This has been a season of love for me. I've told you all before that I'm in love, and I am so in love, and I've fallen deeper in love than I ever imagined. I'm not going to pretend. I was that girl for a while who just had resigned herself to, I'm never going to have this grand, beautiful love. Or if I do have this grand, beautiful love, I am going to have to pull it out of someone. Like it is not going to be as easily attained as I thought it would be. And it was very interesting to be able to be like just totally swept off my feet in my 50th, in the latter part of my 50th year, and to be here a few years later and be so seen, so held, so valued, so loved. It's a wonderful feeling. But I'm not going to pretend balancing that while healing and becoming is powerful. And I'm very grateful that my love and I have that balance within us, that yoked, the equally yoked side. We are equally yoked, and it is beautiful. His love makes me realize that this is what I waited for my entire life. And yes, I'm just getting it now, but it's in plenty of time. And so I find myself, wanting to spend as much time as I can with him, even though we're long distance, and just being more gentle, more valuing of it, being valuing of our relationship, protecting him, more. Not saying that I'm hiding him from the world. I'm not, but it's just, I'm in a love bubble and I kind of want to stay here for a while. I'll come back out at some point, but it's just a beautiful thing. And in this bubble, I am discovering this amazing man, this wonderful, gentle heart, and I'm getting a chance to learn how to love it, and he's getting a chance to learn how to love me, and we're building a future together, and it's a beautiful thing. And then, like I said, with the complexities of tuning into my health, the loss and the grief and falling in love and dealing with the depths and understanding the depths of love and really surrendering to it and learning how not to be in my head and just valuing the relationship I am in. It's also just, like I said, learning that I'm changing, that all of these things are changing me, and that I am not in a season where I'm putting the reset away completely. I didn't step away from it to rest. I'm stepping away from it in a moment for a year so that I can step into a new season of becoming. I'm actively still here. Like I'm actively still learning, but I'm just moving at the same time. And so with that movement, I can't put something out until I'm ready, a little bit more ready in regards to who I am. And so that meant this year, I didn't have the emotional bandwidth to give because I have other parts of myself that I need to give it to. I'm living, I'm healing, I'm growing, I'm becoming. And that's really a wonderful phase. So that's where I am right now. I am becoming, and I am trying to figure out the best way to reintroduce myself to you. I can't even pretend. I really am. I am in this season of just growth, in this season of becoming, in a season of choosing softness and strength, in a season of learning that I don't have to prove. I just need to be. And also in a season where I'm learning that I have to trust God's plan for my growth, for my evolution. And so I welcome you, if you are in those spaces as well, to introduce or reintroduce who you are to yourself and to other people so that we can recognize that it's okay to be soft. It's okay to recognize that you don't have to prove. It's more than okay in that case. Like you don't need, we needed to stop trying to prove a long, long time ago. And that you have leaned into the divine plan of your life, that you trust Him, and that you're ready to see it, even when it doesn't make sense. And so as we are here, we are introducing ourselves. I'm making a decision, a conscious effort to let you know that I am no longer apologizing for shifting my priorities because things have to shift. Definitely for taking quiet time, because there's going to be moments where I have to take a pause. Life is doing what it does and I can't speak. And sometimes in those moments, but I'll be around. That it's okay that I change my mind. And you know what? That being in love, in grief, in power, all at the same time is possible and livable. And so I hope that you will use those things also and think about, as you are on your journey to becoming, you are on your journey to reintroducing who you are, that you will Stop apologizing for your shifting priorities, for needing quiet, for changing your mind, and for being in a season where there are multiple things going around you and you are still thriving. Because you don't owe your pain to anyone. You don't owe your becoming to anyone. You owe it. The only person that you owe any of that to is you. So make sure you are prioritizing who you are in this new season, because this new season is going to open up a new era, a new frequency. And I know for me in this new era, this new frequency, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be probably a lot more honest about things. I think I am pretty honest, but I think sometimes I don't spill the tea, as my friend Katie reminded me recently. She was like, girl, you were spilling tea recently. So I need to get back to the tea spilling side of life, because I'm not ashamed of anything. And sometimes I'm struggling. And like I told you guys earlier, I hope you're inspired by me. Don't make the same mistakes I made. Or if you see that there's something that I've done that might apply to your life, try it out. Now, I'm not guaranteeing the best of results. I can't guarantee results, but I can definitely say, if you can see what I've done, is you see an error in my ways and I admit it, just don't do it. Try something different. And also, but I am promising to be more real, more honest. And I'm also promising to have content and conversations from this, like I said, more content and conversations from this new space. I don't have time to perform. I just have time to be in my truth, because that's all I am. I'm not perfect. I'm just a 52-year-old woman trying to figure it out. And I invite you to figure it out with me, because this year, I feel like I said, God has leaned into me in all these areas so that I can share my journey with you. So yeah, we don't gatekeep here. So yes, I told y'all I'm trying to lose weight. Yes, I told y'all I'm in love. I'm really in love. I love my honey. And waiting for the future, might even change my last name, y'all. You just don't even know. And I'm just inviting you to, ask yourself, what is this year really asking of you? And don't be afraid if it's not what the beginning of the year is asked of you, if it's not that same thing right now. It's okay to pivot. It's okay to reintroduce yourself. It's okay to reset. Give yourself permission to do that, because I'm resetting. I'm reintroducing myself to you. And I promise you, I am sitting here just literally saying, hi, my name is Pamela Davis, and I am in a season of becoming and changing. I don't have it all figured out. I am struggling at some times with, facing potential loss of my mom, and just, dealing with the world, because it's crazy out in these streets. I am in love, and my honey is long distance, and I really just cannot imagine spending the rest of my life like that without him. But we're working on that, and he's going to be here probably before I know it. But I just truly I finally found what I've been waiting for. Like literally, his love feels like the hands to heaven. I've been waiting my whole life for you. And every time I hear a song that says that, tears well up in my eyes, because it's so true. I've been waiting my whole life to find someone like him, and I got it. And I had it when I was 19, and we just couldn't keep it together. But for it to come back in this season, in my 50s, God truly is amazing. And I'm so grateful for his love. So I'm just saying all these things vulnerably to say to you, don't give up. Don't count us out. Don't think that it can't happen for you. You never know when your life can shift. Be open to the shifts. Don't be afraid to be who you were called to be, even if that is someone that you didn't even know you needed to be. But now you know. Step into who you are, because that purpose, your life, your desires, your dreams, all of it can change in an instant. Own it. Own it. Own who you are, because you are the best version of you. And at times you may have to be in a reset mode. You may have to reintroduce yourself. But as long as you are above ground, there is always opportunity for you to live your best life. Choose yourself and honor who you are in all things. So as I kind of close out, I really was thinking of a few things that I kind of wanted to talk with you guys about. Just maybe some affirmations or blessings, just to kind of give you something to think about. One, I want you to have the courage to honor what the season is requiring of you. It's hard honoring what the seasons are requiring of us because, sometimes we just, like I said earlier, we want what we want, we have already had a download and we think that's the download. And then all of a sudden we're getting something different. Don't be afraid to pivot. Just recognize that you don't have to explain your evolution to anyone. Just keep growing. Just keep growing. So that is this week's episode because I'm going to grow with you. And we're growing together. I hope that you will like, share, and subscribe this episode. I hope you will let me know, in the notes or send me an email at thewelldonelife@gmail.com or hello@thewelldonelife.com and let me know what you are growing through, what you are reintroducing yourself to, what you are resetting about so I can support you. Like I'm really telling you truth. I want to support you. You'd be surprised. I've talked to people who have connected with me just because of something that I said, and we become like really cool, talk here and there and check in. That's really what this is about. Like I said, I'm going to keep it honest and just really be myself. That's where I get my energy because I know that God called me to be a light to other people, to be an encourager. I have the gift of exhortation, so I can speak life and inspiration into others. Let me speak life and inspiration into you. That's what gives me life and inspiration too. It's nothing over here but love. And I want to see you win. And I truly believe in you because like I said, I know what it's like. I've been down. Just because you're down now doesn't mean you're going to be down tomorrow. You just got to try to find a way forward. Never give up on who you are and never stop changing. Never stop growing because God has a plan for you and you want to step into that plan. Be the best version of who you were called to be. And don't let the limiting thoughts of the world or your mind impact your trajectory. You have beautiful things that you can accomplish. Never give up on you. And soon you'll be reintroducing yourself to people as well. And yes, in my reintroduction, there is so much more that I could say. I haven't figured out yet when I'm going to say it. I just, again, still processing life, still living in my bubbles and just enjoying it all. But I'll be around. I'll be here sharing and hopefully inspiring as we go along this journey together. And like I said, please don't hesitate to hit me up because I'm always welcome. I always welcome, opportunity to encourage and support you because you guys support me and you have no idea how this space has given me strength in times when I truly just wanted to give up. So don't give up on you because I ain't giving up on you. So again, don't forget to hit me up. My emails are at thewelldonelife@gmail.com. Also add hello@thewelldonelife.com. You also can find me on Instagram and Threads at Pamela Davis and the Well Done Life podcast. I'm on both. I am on Facebook as Pamela Davis. And so you can find me there as well. Just reach out. I'm always willing to connect. I look forward to it. I'm also putting out a call if anyone would like to be on the podcast. I know I've been kind of like in a season lately where I haven't had a lot of guests. I think it's just because with everything going on, I hadn't really had the time to really sit through in my process, but I'm getting back out there and I would love to be able to interview you. So if you're yourself or you know someone who you feel like would be a really good conversation to have, and there's an opportunity for information that can be shared of value and inspiration, I would love to talk to them. So please don't forget to hit me up or shoot me a DM. I'd love to talk to you or to them as well. And again, I just want to thank you guys for welcoming me back. It feels good. It feels a little different because I haven't been in front of this mic in a few weeks. But again, I feel great that I'm back and I will be back and more. And I will let you guys know when I need to pause. But I'm thankful for everything. And I hope that you will enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care of yourselves and each other. And we will talk again soon. Bye-bye.